What is up, guys? Charlene FX, your favorite female trader, back with another video. So, on this video, I'm going to be back testing AU. Okay, this is a very excellent beginner pair. I recommend it to anyone that's just starting out. It's a very slow pair. It does move during the New York, London, and oftentimes the Asian session. So it moves at just about every time. It's good pair for you to learn your patience with and to gain some good experience with your technicals as well. Okay, so we're going to be reviewing this pair again on this back testing session. We're going to be sticking to the daily, the 4 hour, mostly the 4 hour session, or I'm sorry, the 4 hour time frame, because we're going to be using bar replay, and we don't want to show us what's going to actually happen. Okay, so let's jump right into this video here. Before I get started, let me get this out of the way. I get this question all the time. Who is my broker? My broker is called Hanko Trade, guys. Okay, excellent ECN broker, where they offer MT4 and MT5 ECN accounts, STP accounts, and ECN plus accounts if that's something you're interested in. Their spreads are very low, commissions are also very low. They offer just about every pair. Customer service is great, withdrawals great, deposits are great, guys. I really have zero complaints with this broker. Never had an issue with them. They're accessible on Windows and iOS. Yeah, perfect broker. I really can't say too much more about them because they're excellent. They offer just about, like I said, every pair that we trade from indices and currencies as well. All right, so if you're interested in my broker, the link to sign up is in the description box of all of my videos. All right, guys, so now that we got that great information out of the way, let's jump right in. Okay, so I'm looking at the daily time frame. Let's look at we're gonna be using bar replay, and let's pick a random spot, let's say here. All right, so looking at AU here on the daily time frame, what I like to do, guys, when I am back testing and looking for my directional bias, I like to look at what happened previously, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You should always be looking left. Always be looking left to see what happened. What did the market do? Why is the market responding or reacting the way that it's reacting in the past, and how could that affect what happens coming in the future? Okay, so if we're looking at the market now, I see that we made a previous drop, okay, and then we kind of ranged a little bit here, kind of in like a steep, not really steep, but kind of a narrow uptrend, right? And then we made another steep drop here. We make a huge dip to the downside before we make this big retracement to the upside. So we have a lot going on here, right? We have an uptrend, then down. Now we're right back up again, right? So what could the market be doing? What is happening right now? It's hard to tell, right? But all this stuff is very important. So what do I want to look for when I'm looking for stuff like this? Well, I want to look for my major support levels, and I want to look for where price reacted. Well, previously price held resistance right around this area here, right? And then we held support, broke support, tested, and then we held resistance. Price fell below here. It tested it twice, then it dropped. Now it tested this level again, pushed down, and then it pushed above, and now we're holding support right around this level here. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to kind of mark off this level here, and I also want to mark off my resistance level as well, right? Because the last, let's even pull this all the way across. So the last 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times price tapped this price zone right here. We have a reactionary zone. We have a retest, right? Price test, and then it dropped, and its price has been holding below this level. If you look here, guys, we haven't been up here in a while, right? Price has not moved up here in a while. Every time it tried to come up here, sellers pushed the market right on back down. All right, so now that we have all that, let's kind of focus on what we're focusing on the here and now, and where can we look for some sort of setup. So on my daily time frames, I like to look and see what is the market doing. Well, we made a huge push and now we're kind of holding support right about here. Okay, holding support here, and we have a bit of a resistance right there. All right, perfect, right? So I have a daily high here, and then I have a daily low right about there. Right, so right, boom, right there. Okay, so I like to go with the wicks, right? Because wicks tells you where price tried to get to, right? I don't always put them right at the body. I like to put them at the wicks, kind of in an average area of where price currently was, right? So what's price doing now? Price had dropped, right? We made a higher high. We came down and made a low, and we were not able to create new highs, right? Price was struggling to break this area here. And now we have been ranging inside this box, right? We see price kind of stuck inside this area here, right? So kind of a ping pong inside this box here. No big deal, no problem, not a big deal. If I measure this range here, we'll see we are about almost 200 pip range. Okay, so right about that. Okay, so what is the trend? What is the trend? What is our directional bias? Well, it should be buys. It should be buys. Why, guys? Because price is pushing up. It's pushing up. We did make a high here. We failed to make a new one, but we're still holding this major level of support here, right? As long as price holds here, I am looking for buys. Now, if price breaks below here, then I can continue looking for sells because we have broken structure, okay? Structure is everything. Market structure is key, especially on your higher time frames. Okay, so we're going to get out of the daily time frame, right? Because the daily time frame is not how we're going to be looking for our trades. We're going to be looking at them on the 4 hour. So let's look at the 4 hour and see what the 4 hour tells us. All right, so in the 4 hour time frame, I see that we had it's a big range, right? Price is pushing up and up and up, and now we're kind of sitting in this area here, right? So I have an H4 high right about here, and I always make my H4s red. And then I have an H4 low right here. Boom. Okay. If I measure this range here, we are 52 pips inside this box here. Okay. So price has broken out of this range and we have a huge push to the upside. Now we have a support that's forming, then price forming new highs. So I should be looking for more buys, right? Now let's measure this range from this resistance to this resistance, right about 57 pips. Is that a good enough range to take a trade? Absolutely, especially if you manage your stop loss and you put it in the right place. Okay. So if we're looking for buys, we have to enter at a low, right? We cannot enter at a high. We have to enter at a low. So we have a high and we have a low. Now we have a high. Now I'm looking for price to make a new low, right? So I have this H4 support kind of holding right about here. So I'd like price to stay inside this zone here and then come on up, come down, and then we're off and going, right? Now in order for price to come back for sells, I'd potentially be looking for it to come down here, maybe come back to test this area, or like I said earlier, if we break this support down here, then we can continue looking for a sell. But for now, we need to continue looking for buys. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a low. So I want price to come down in this area here. And that's where I'll be looking to take my buy opportunities, put stops below support, and then look to take price to continue up. Does it mean that price is going to come down here? No, it may not. It may just continue ongoing. But even if it does, I still need to look at the candle bodies, the candle anatomy to tell me where is price going, where can I look for potential entries, where is price forming new support, and so on and so forth. Okay, so right now I'm looking for a low to be formed because currently we are at a new high. Okay, so we're going to press the next candle to see where price is doing. And right now we're still holding this level here. If we do make a deep pullback here and we have a rejection, then I'll be looking to take some entries for price to continue bullish. All right, so let's see if we can get another candle drop here. Very good, very good. All right, so good, perfect. We have a tap in this zone right here and price to continue up. All right, perfect. You always want to see a pullback, right? You see that we have price that pushed up here, right? Then we had 1, 2, 3 candles that and one finally pulled back. Then we have the next candle that pushed up, right? So if we have this one that pulled up and a pullback, why can't we look for the same thing, right? Candle push up, then a pullback, right? So we want a nice deep pullback for us to potentially look for buys. Now this is the 4-hour time frame, so we don't really know, where the move is going to come, because it's a higher time frame, so we got to keep our entries conservative. All right, so let's see what the next candle does. All right, because I would take a long position here, right? Stops would be below this wick low here, right? Stops would be like right around there. All right, and then my next high, let's say at this resistance up here, right? So I would be looking for price to continue down, or to reject, give me a deeper rejection, or to start breaking my entry here to continue up. Okay, so if price pushes down, we're not in the trade. If it pushes up, then we have buy stops, and we're going to be looking for price to continue bullish based off this rejection. Hopefully we get a deeper one. If we don't, then we don't. But if price pushes below here, guys, we're not in the trade, and we're going to be looking for potential sell opportunities. Okay, but for now, we're still looking for buys to continue up. Okay, so now we're in the trade. We are in the trade, guys. Price came down, it pushed down, and now we are breaking up. We broke above this high here, so let's see if we can potentially hit our TP and break this previous resistance. Okay, we're continuing up here, coming back down. So you see how price tested this right here? It tested this high, hasn't been able to break it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4-hour candle. So for 32 hours, price has not been able to break that high. So hopefully this is just a minor pullback, and then we will be able to hold our stops and see if price can continue bullish. And we're breaking back down, and stop loss was hit. We weren't able to break, stop loss was hit. Okay, so we lost that trade. Let's see what happened here. Well, could it be that price wasn't ready to push? Because this pullback here is much deeper than this pullback here, right? So because we're looking for buys, we cannot enter buys here, because we want to see a bullish close. You want to see the market pushing in your direction before you take buys. All right, and you want to see if you have some sort of rejection, something that happened in this area to tell you, hey, now it's safe to take buys, for price, that price is ready to continue pushing up. All right, so let's see what the next candle does. All right, so now we have our bullish close, right? Now we have our bullish close. So can we give our trade a second chance here? I don't know, because we have been struggling to break this high. Price is failing to make new highs, right? We made a high here. This high didn't break this high. Now this high is failing to break this high, right? So you want to be a little bit more conservative. So what I would do, guys, is I would wait to see if price can break this high, and then wait for a pullback and then enter, because we could take buys here, right? But our stop loss would have to be way down here, right? What kind of risk reward is this, right? Unless you put your reward up here somewhere, but you have this resistance to worry about because price is struggling to break. So this is a negative risk reward. So guess what? We can't take that trade. We just have to just wait and see what happens, right? So let's see what the next candle does. Shot up, perfect, right? That's what we wanted to see, right? So we were looking for this move to happen over here. Price wasn't ready to push yet, but it took off over here. Excellent, right? We have a new high. So next thing I want to see is I want to see price come down into this area here, and then turn around and push up. Let's delete this because this is in the way here. All right, so I'm going to put a zone right there, and I want to see price make some sort of support and then turn around and go back bullish. So let's see what the next candle does. Okay, we've come down, we rejected. I want to see a deeper pullback. This isn't much of a pullback. Good, very good. That's what I want to see. I want to see a nice deep pullback here. We could adjust our zone just a little here. You will see that this wick is testing these wicks over here, right? So if I get a bullish close, I'm looking for buys over here, right? So we might miss it. Next candle might push up and we might miss it. So I'm going to put my long positions right about there. All right, and let's see where the next candle that opens, wherever that low is, that's where we're going to put our stop loss. But if it goes bullish, our entry will be activated, and we'll put our stops below the low of that candle and see if we can hit TP. Okay, not in the trade yet. Now we're activating. All right, we're activated in the trade. We're gonna put our stops right below that low there, and let's see if we can hit TP. Beautiful, excellent. We didn't quite hit it. There we go. Now we hit TP. Okay, so we missed out on this opportunity. No big deal. No big deal, guys, because we weren't sure price was going to break this high. It failed to break it here. We pushed down, and then price just could not continue up. So we just wait. We just wait for another opportunity. We have a good engulfing candle here. We wait on the pullback, we wait for candles to go in our direction, then we enter, we put stops below those candle lows, and then we enter the trade. Okay, same setup, guys. Same setup we look for here, the same thing we look for here. All right, so we lost one trade and won one. I think that was, yeah, we lost one, won one. Okay, very good. Excellent second opportunity that we gave our trade. All right, so now again, we're at a high. We're at a high, and we're at the previous high that price rejected from last time. Remember this zone that we had placed on the daily? This is our daily high. So what can we expect? We can expect, we already see that price was once bullish in this area, rejected, left a long rejection wick, closed bearish. Next candle could potentially come down. It's supposed to come down because based off market structure, we need price to do something like this, right? That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we can anticipate for price to come down, create a new low, maybe test the last level that it broke, and then to continue back bullish. But we got to see if price is going to break this zone here, because the last few times that price came up here, it rejected. Last few times it came, it rejected, and price has yet to see the light of day up here. Okay, so this is going to take a lot to break this zone for price to continue back bullish. All right, so we got to keep that in mind. But even though we keep this in mind, we still have to look for buys. Always, always, always go with the trend, guys. Always go with the trend. No matter what, go with the trend until the market tells you not to. Okay, so we have this H4 close here, rejection. Next candle should come down because we needed to make a low. But if it goes up, we're going to be looking for the same setup. A new high, a pullback, and then buys. Beautiful. Boom. Drop to the downside, and look at where it rejected, right at this level here. Okay, dropped over here and rejected over here. So we have a low, right? We technically have a low here. Price pushed up, down, high, low. Okay, low is respecting the previous low, which is right here. If I draw those lines there, you guys can see that price has respected those lows. So if we get a bullish close here, I'm looking for buys to continue up. All right, so let's put our trade idea here, long position. We're gonna do a conservative entry here, guys, and wherever the next candle closes, if our trade gets activated, we're gonna put our stops right below those lows. All right, and TP can be right about there. Okay, let's see here. Okay, looks like, wow, I think we got activated, guys. Or no, if we were looking for the bullish close, I keep mixing that up. If we're looking for the bullish close, then we would have been in this trade for our buy stops. So price is continuing to drop. So wait a minute here. Let's see what we got going on here, right? So we have a high that was formed. We have this huge engulfing candle here, guys. All right. So for 4, and 4. So for 12 hours, market is continuing to drop, and we have broken structure here technically, right? We broke structure, guys. So if we break structure on the high time frames, technically the buy bias right now, technically it's still valid, because I think if we're still holding this level right around here, we're still valid, right? Because we also have these major, lows right there. So that's still valid, right? Until we break down here, then I'd be looking for sells. But as long as we stay up here, I'm still looking for buys, okay? So right now, as the market is dropping, yes, I'm missing out on sells. No big deal. If this was on the lower time frames, of course, I'd be potentially looking to take a counter trend trade. But because this is a back testing session to follow structure, we're only looking for buys. If price breaks below here, then we're looking for sells. But if price holds up here, I'm looking for a bullish candle close, and then I'm looking for price to continue up. Okay, and because this candle here has broken through this zone here, I'm going to remove this zone because it's not valid to me right now. It's not valid anymore because price shot on right on through. All right. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the next candle. We want to look for a bullish close. So as soon as we see a bullish close, we're entering the trade. Okay. Okay. So we tapped this area. Beautiful. We tapped it. So if price gave me a rejection wick at this support, we respected this low right here, and we have a bullish close here. Now I can look for buys to continue back bullish, and then we're going to put stops below the next candle's low. But if price breaks below, then I'm going to be looking for a pullback, a resistance to be formed, and then I'm going to be looking for sells and taking it all the way down. Okay. Okay. There we go. Boom. We're in the trade. We are currently in the trade. I'm going to put stops below these lows here. We are in the trade from here. Stops are below this low. Take profit is the next high. Oh, take profit. Stop loss hit. Stop loss hit. We are unable to make new highs, guys. Price pushed up and we couldn't continue up. So that is a loss. Okay, we did not make a new high. So what's the market telling us right now? What is really happening at this point in time? Well, I kind of see a little head and shoulders action forming right here, right? We have a head, left shoulder, right shoulder, right? And we have this support that's still holding. This support is still holding. Price just keeps on rejecting this support here. But because we are unable to make new highs up here, it should potentially tell me that we may be pushing down for sells, because we tried to push here, couldn't push, because these are 4-hour candles. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All 4-hour candles that could not break this H4 high here. We failed to maintain highs here, and price is continuing to make lower highs. Now we're back at this level here. We broke down, we rejected, and closed back above. All right. So this area is very important to us, guys. We need to know if price holds this support, we're going to continue for buys and push up potentially and give it another try, right, for buys. But if it doesn't and it breaks, we're more likely going to continue back down. Now, if we continue down, I'd be looking for something like this, right, for price to come down, pull back, and then we continue back down, okay? For buys, I'd be looking for price to break like right around this high here, put stops below support, and then take it up for the buys. All right, so let's see if we can get a bullish close here, because my bias is still bias. My bias is still bias, guys, because we are still holding this support. As long as we hold the support, I'm still looking for buys. If we get a bullish candle close here, I'll be looking to take another buy and putting stops above, below these lows. Okay, we're still testing this support. There we go, right? There we go. So let's say I had a long position right there. I would take it right at this high here, and I would put stops right below that candle low. And let's see if we, well, I can't put my take profit here. I'd like to put it here, right? But I can't, because I have this resistance here that has proven strong resistance. I need to see price break this before I know, hey, am I going to close my trade at take profit here, or am I going to leave a runner and potentially we can continue pushing up to make new highs, right? So for now, this has to be my first take profit, and that will be my second. All right, there we go. You see that? So we hit take profit here, and look how it rejected. Look how it rejected, right? Because and then it rejected kind of hard, right? So that's why you have to be conservative, guys. Look left and let the left market structure tell you what's going to happen. Be conservative. Don't be ambitious and think that, oh, just because now we're pushing, price should continue up and make new highs. We don't know that. Okay, we only won this trade because we were conservative. If I had my take profit up here, we don't know if we would have won this trade. Well, yeah, we would have, but but we don't know that. We don't know that, okay? But the moral of the story, guys, is look for the same setups. Look for the exact same setups. I said, if I get a bullish candle close here and we respect support, I am still looking for buys. My bias was still buys. Now, if price broke below here, I'd be looking for the pullback and then to enter for sells. But because it gave me a bullish close, I would have taken entry right, not at this candle, but this candle, once it started breaking, I would have taken entry here. put my stops below those candle lows, and then entered for the buys. Okay, and then if you guys can see here, so that's 2 wins, 2 losses so far. So as you guys can see here, we pushed up, we rejected, and we rejected the same area, pretty much the same area. So I need some sort of pullback. I'd like to see this make a higher high, honestly, before it makes a pullback, because this just tested this high. I'm not sure why market is rejecting here, but maybe, I mean, it's a strong daily zone, but I mean, after this big push here, you would anticipate that it would, you know, make a new high, but it really did not do that. So at this point in time, you can wait. I mean, you have a rejection, you can wait, but looking for sells here, guys, even though you're anticipating a retracement, always go with the trend. Always go with the trend. Okay, so we run that trade, we have a rejection here, we need to wait for a support to be formed for price to continue bullish. Okay, good. So we have a nice little retracement here. Let's see where we get our first bullish close for us to look for more buys. Okay, we have a bullish close here, but this candle has broken this candle's low. All right, and we're holding right about this area here. Okay, we have a previous area of resistance broke above. Now we can have some sort of pullback for price to continue back bullish. If price does break below here, it's most likely probably going to come back, because this was our secondary major level of support. Okay, very good, very good. Now price has broken below here. You could do one of two things. You could take an impulsive entry, right, because your risk reward is very good, right? If you took a short position here, right, you could put your stops right above here, take profit would be down here. So look at your risk compared to your reward. Very good, right? But the fact that you're in a bullish market, you don't know how, if price is even going to come down here, right? You have no idea what price is going to do. Price could easily reject, and the next candle can go bullish, right? So because we're sticking to our bias, I'm not going to take these sells. I'm going to miss out on these sells if it really does happen for sells, because my bias is still buys until price comes down here and tells me that structure is broken and we're ready to continue for sells. Okay, and look at that. We had take profit down here, and price rejected. Price rejected and pushed back up inside this zone here. All right, we push back up inside this zone here. Once I get a next candle close and a rejection, I'll be looking for price to continue back bullish. So let's see. We're going to take a long position here. If the next candle breaks up bullish and activates it, then we're in the trade, and our stops will be below that candle's low. Okay, we're in the trade now. Our stops are going to be below this candle's low, right about there. And let's see if we hit take profit. And take profit was slapped literally to the T. Beautiful, literally to the T, guys. All right, so excellent winning trade. Okay, so we're all looking for the same stuff, guys. We're looking for the very same trades, but we're taking very conservative entries, simply because we're on the higher time frame. Okay, but you need to understand, guys, the same things that you're looking for on these higher time frames is the same thing you want to look for on the lower time frames. For example, if we look at this setup here that we just won, let's look at it on the 1 hour time frame, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, price pushed down, then it retraced, and it pushed back up inside this area, indicating that we're still going for buys, right? As long as price stayed up here, we're still looking for buys. We have price that broke above here. We have price that pulled back, and then it pushed up. Same thing we were looking for here. If we go back to the 4 hour, price pushed down, pushed up. Now we have a pullback, a rejection. Once price starts breaking above, then we catch it in momentum and we take the buys on up, right? Because our bias is still buys. Okay, we already have a low that was formed, so all price was doing was making a new low for it to create another high. Okay, again, if we look at it on the 1 hour, or let's say even the 30-minute time frame, it's still an excellent setup. The entry is not the best, right? Because technically we're entering at a high on the lower time frames. On the high time frames, yes, it's good. But on the lower time frame, this is a very high entry. You want to take entries more down here, right? You want your entries to be, more over here or even here. But if you're taking entries up here, your stop loss is just that much bigger. But you're catching a large move nonetheless. All right, guys. So that's that trade. Very good trade. Let's go back to the 4 hour. All right. And what's market structure telling us, guys? It's kind of the same thing, right? High, low, high, right? Kind of the same thing. As long as you maintain structure and you have your key levels where you need them to be accurately and correctly, then you should be fine. Okay, so now price made a high. Now what's it gonna do? It's probably gonna come back and make another low, right? Make another low. So let's continue down. Boom, there we go. Another drop. It's probably gonna drop some more, right? Okay, so we made another low and now we pushed up again, right? We pushed up again. So what can we anticipate? For price to make a new high. But here's the issue. We're still struggling to break. We are still struggling to break. This candle didn't break. This one did not break. This one did not break. Something is up here that's forcing price down every time it comes up here. I cannot help but keep that in the back of my mind, right? So yes, you want to follow structure, guys, but also keep in mind your high time frame key levels because those are very strong as well. So keep that in mind, guys. We are struggling to break this. Now, can I enter buys here? No, I cannot. This is why. We have a strong daily zone. We have multiple rejections on this daily zone, on the 4-hour as well, okay? And we need strong volume to be able to push price out of here, right? So I wouldn't be comfortable taking buys here because the risk reward is just not there. If I was to look for buys here at a long position, let's say here, right? Let's say my take profit was there. Look at my stop loss. Like it's 1-to-1, if not, if it's bigger than, negative risk reward. So I'd rather wait. I would rather wait to see what the market does before I take a trade over here, okay? Because we have rejected this multiple times. We're right next to resistance. I want to wait and see what happens. Drop, 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 and drop, okay? So we dropped, but look at where we dropped, guys. Where did we drop? We rejected right around the same area as before. This area is very, very strong, okay? And we rejected. So can we potentially look for buys here? Yeah, we can, simply because we're still above our buy zone. We're still in our buy zone. So we don't technically have to look for sells just yet. We know that price made a high. We know we made a low, made a lower high. Can it come down and break this lower and come down? Yeah. But as long as we stay in here, guys, we're still good for buys, okay? Okay, we have a bullish close at this zone here, so we're kind of holding this level here. If price, now this could be a good buy. This could be a good buy, right? If the next candle opens up here, we put our stops below that low, right? And then, we could put TP right there or something like that, right? But if price continues to come down, then most likely we're going to probably continue back down. But for now, we still have to look for buys. All right. All right. So we're in this trade. We are in this trade. Okay, guys. Stop loss hit. Stop loss hit. Womp, womp, womp. Okay. So price is failing. Price is failing to make new highs, right? And we're dangling in this area here. We are dangling. This H4 candle has broken this low. All right, so can we look for sells here? I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say, right? Because we have rejections to the downside and rejections to the upside. So we really just want to wait, right? Kind of just want to wait. But think about it, guys. Price hasn't been down here in a while, right? Last time it came here, it pushed up, and it held up here for a while. Now it's making low, low, breaking this low right here. So if price does continue down here, more than likely it'll probably continue down because we failed to make new highs. But if we don't and we get a bullish close, what can we do? Look for more buys. Okay, sticking to our buys. All right, so we don't know what price is going to do here. We cannot take sells because we're in a buying market, and we cannot take buys because the market is pushing bearish. So we just got to wait. So let's see what the next candle does. Wow. Drops, just tanked. Okay, tanked all the way down, and look where it rejected from. Our last major level of support. So are we still looking for buys, guys? Yes, we're still looking for buys because we're still above this zone. Now if price breaks this zone, the same setup we had here, guess what? We're gonna have it right on over here. Wow, literally AU is playing around right now. Look at that, guys. Came down, tapped, and it closed above. It closed above this level size. So it closed above. So if this next candle goes bullish, guess what we're doing? We're looking for buys. Long position right there. Stops will be below those candle lows, and TP is going to be right back up here. We're in the trade. Up. Okay, we're good. We're still in the trade. We pushed up. We're a couple pips up. We broke down to retest. Our stop was in a safe area. Let's see if we continue up. Beautiful. Excellent, excellent, excellent trade, guys. As long as we stay up here, we're still looking for those buys. Excellent setup here. Price pushed. We had a bullish close activated. We had our stops below those wicks, and price pushed up. TP was smacked. Okay, excellent setup there, guys. So again, as long as we stay inside this zone here, we're good for the buys. But look at where we rejected from, right? TP was hit, great, but we rejected from this level right here. So as long as we can break this level and continue up, we can potentially keep on looking for buys, right? So we don't know. Could price reject here and come down? Yeah, we can start playing around in here. You know why? Because we did it over here. We did it over here. Price bounce, 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 pushed up. Now it's back inside this area again. All right, so as long as we stay up here, we're still looking for buys. Can this shoot up? Yeah, it can shoot right on up and continue pushing, or we can reject and come back down and start playing around inside here. Okay, so we rejected. We have a bearish close. We have a resistance formed right here. We have somewhat of a pullback here and a close. This is somewhat, I would say maybe a 70%. Right about 60 percent retracement, which, you know, isn't too bad. But yeah, guys, if we reject here, we're unable to make a new high. See how this high closed below this low here. If we fail to make a new high, guys, then price will most likely continue back bearish. But again, as long as we're up here, we're still in our buy zone. Okay, so if price breaks above here, guys, we'll be looking for long positions. Our stops will be, you know, inside this zone here, and then TPs will be here. But if price breaks below this level here for shorts, we can look for shorts here. Our stops will be above this zone here, and then TPs will be down here. So what am I doing, guys? I'm being fluid. I'm being fluid, right? Because think about it. This is a 4-hour time frame. Are we really waiting for 4 hours, you know, for several hours per setup? No, right? You want to catch something on a 30-minute, 15-minute entry. Everything looks different on those time frames, okay? So you have to learn to be fluid with the market, because unless you want to wait for each of those 4-hour candles to form and set up and give you what you're looking for, you can do that and practice patience. However, if you're scalping and you're looking for setups, you're going to need to learn to be fluid with the market and know when to look for your sells, even in a buying market, and when to look for buys, even in a selling market. It's always best to stick to the trend, to stick to your bias. But if you can find opportunities for counter trend trades, you can take them. Just know when to hold and when to get out. All right. So this is the trade, guys. If the market pushes up, we're going to be activated for buy stops. We're going to have our stops below, and then we're going to delete this and see if market pushes. But if market drops, our sells are going to be activated. We're going to delete the buys and see if our TP gets hit for one or the other. And this will be our last setup for this video for tonight. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so our sells are activated. Okay, our stops are above these highs. TP is going to be down here. TP hits. Okay, so you'll be able to see, guys, when to take opportunities in the market. And look at how price rejected again over here. Jesus Christ, cannot break up here and it can't break down here. It's literally holding these two areas here. All right, so know when to be able to take a counter trend trade in the market and where to take profit, right? Because let's say you want to take sells. Can you take sells way down here? No, you got to take it at the most recent level of support. Put your stops in the conservative area, and make sure that you know when to hold and when to close your position and when to stick to your buys. Sometimes you want to just, you know what? Yes, I see an opportunity for potential sells, but I feel like anything above here is for buys. So I would rather miss out on the sells to capitalize on the overall move. Okay, and that just takes discipline and patience, guys. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for this one. We took a lot of setups here, took buys, took sells. I broke down the key levels. I broke down, you know, what I was looking for at my key levels, what candle confirmations what was I looking for. I think we took like what 4 or 5 setups or 6, something like that, and I think we lost 2, which is fine. We understood why we took those losses, and we understood why we had the wins as well. All right, guys, AU is not a hard pair. It's not hard to trade. It just takes patience. It takes marking off your key levels properly, and just using discipline, using market structure, using discipline, using price action, reading the candles properly, marking off your key levels, understanding you know, where your rejection levels are, learning how to read where the wick rejections are. All those things matter, guys. But watching videos like this, back testing, using what you know, looking for the same setup, right? Wash, rinse, repeat, right? Wash, rinse, repeat, looking for the same stuff, guys. You won't go wrong, because the market is a creature of habit. It's going to do the very same things over and over and over again. All right, guys, so I hope you guys learned a little something from this video. I enjoy doing videos like this. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want me to go over, any other pairs you may want me to break down or backtest for you guys, just drop it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to release that information for you guys. Okay, so with that said, enjoy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next upload.